Welcome back to Optimize Health, where we're making easy, healthy, and delicious meals. Today we're going to do a simple low-carb keto bread that is going to be using a almond-based flour blend, which is my proprietary blend. We're going to do about 1/3 cup of flour blend, and I'm going to add some extra leavening. We are deciding to use zucchini in this recipe. You should talk to your doctor, healthcare provider, or veterinarian to see if any of these recipes, suggestions, or contents of these videos are right for you. Nothing contained in these videos are intended to be taken as medical advice. Use at your own risk. Recipe instead of our usual cauliflower because it's going to be a good option to have a different vegetable that can be versatile in keto baking, and it's commonly used. So I'm going to add about 1/2 teaspoon additional leavening, baking powder. Oops, that's why I'm using this teaspoon. About 1/2 teaspoon total additional to the proprietary blend, which already has leavening that's for typical baking, like cupcakes and cakes and waffles or pancakes and things of that nature. Because this bread, we're going to want it to rise quite a bit and get more airy. That's why we're adding a bit more. We are going to put approximately 1/3 cup of zucchini that is minced up. I did use this chopping device, but you could use a hand chopper. It doesn't have to be fine or too small. Bigger pieces, if you're cooking it like we are for about 45 minutes to an hour, it's gonna cook down pretty well. So don't have to be too picky about that. And if you have to do it at home without a equipment that's gonna help you chop it, you might consider grating it if you have like a cheese grater, and that can give you a really good consistency and work perfect. We're gonna do 1 egg white, and we're gonna do about 1 tablespoon of olive oil. So you can also add seasoning of whatever your heart desires for this. If you like something savory, you can do spices like we're gonna do, or you can do something like a sweeter bread like cinnamon or clove and cardamom. I'm gonna add some thyme just to make this a little more like a savory bread. And I'm gonna add a little salt. Whether you season savory or sweet or just leave it plain, it's good to do about a pinch of salt, maybe 1/4 teaspoon. The last thing that we're going to add is I'm going to do psyllium husk and then an egg white. For the psyllium husk, I got this from Vitacost, and usually I'm going to use about a teaspoon of this for this recipe. A heaping teaspoon. It's going to help it get like a glutinous kind of, make sure that's a full heaping teaspoon there. And sort of taking the place of what wheat gluten would do. So it's important to have that component. If you don't have access to psyllium husk, you might consider something like flaxseed. Ground flaxseed can be a good substitute for that ingredient. This is just 1 egg white that we're going to add. I'll save the yolk for later. Blend this a little bit. This is also another one of our under 5 minutes, under $5 per serving recipes. We're excited to be doing those. And we want to thank Aunt Debbie for this suggestion, because it's, you know, something that's like easy to look past, but there's so many things you can do with this bread. You can bake it in a loaf like we're going to do today and slice it. You could make it into like dinner roll style. You could do like a bun, and then you could bake it sort of like a roll and cut it into a bun. So the last thing we want to add is about a 1/3 cup of hot water. And then we want to mix pretty vigorously to get it to the right kind of doughy consistency. This hot water is going to help activate the psyllium husk. And by kind of whipping this for about 30 seconds to a minute, we can help get a little bit more air in this batter, and we're going to see it start to pull together to form more of a dough. Just give it a second. So we can make more fluffier bread. There we go, it's starting to pull together a little bit and stick together a bit. And so we can kind of get it into more of like a ball, a dough ball consistency, and that's when we're ready to put it in our bread pan. I've already heated up my Dutch oven. I'm gonna cook this stove top like I do everything. Instead of using an oven, you can use a Dutch oven. And I put it on a medium heat. I'm gonna turn up just a little bit, probably into like the medium range. And this is ready to just go into this little pan. Alright, I'm going to make sure we get as much bread as we can. And I'm hoping this is going to rise out of the pan so we have some height to it and a little more volume that way. Just not working it too much in here. I'm kind of just gently spreading it out without pushing down too much. So hopefully we keep extra air in there. And I'm just spreading it along the side of the pan here. All right, that looks great. So it's gonna go into this preheated Dutch oven for about 50 minutes. And we will be back in a few and let you know what it looks like when it comes out. Alrighty, so we have in our pan our zucchini almond bread low carb bread loaf. Alright, not too bad. So I'm planning to slice it this way and have smaller slices to do like a nut spread, cream cheese, and maybe some smaller sandwiches. I like to use small, you know, like little baking pans, but if you made with a larger pan, you would probably get bigger slices if that's what you desire, but it's very moist and very airy and fluffy inside, soft. Ooh. So let us know if you try the recipe, what you think, any suggestions or comments, other recipes you'd like us to try out to make low carb versions, and share this recipe with people who need a low carb alternative. Thank you. Please like and subscribe.